Hey everybody, hope all is well. I hope you're having a good day. Okay, as you can tell, we're about to load into Court Farm Country Park, a map by Oxygendavid. And the purpose of this video today is to show you how to create a unique map load that you can modify and do things to, but still keep your original map. Now this is handy if you want to do anything like editing specific parts of the map, but still maintain your original map. Or if you want to do something custom, like custom field types, multi-fruit, things of that nature. Maybe you want to add your own type of animal or something. Anything can go, but we're just going to load into the map first, show you what's going on, and have a good little peek at what's going on here. All right, I'll be right back once I select a few mods and load it in. Okay, we just loaded into the game, and I'm going let's walk through this house because this house is pretty amazing. So I believe Oxygendavid did this whole house, which looks fantastic. You know, a lot of detail. And actually, he did a good job with the spacing of the house, so you can walk around fairly easy with your character and get in and out of things. Look at this kitchen, looks great. Cutting board, knives, cleaning, you can pick them up too. That's great. Let's put that in the box, shall we? Okay, cool. But anyway, I don't want to get too caught up into this stuff because this is a really good map. If you have a chance, go to the mod hub and download it and play it if you like this type of map, because this is really cool. Even a laptop over there, really good. Now, how do I get out of here? There's the back door. I'm gonna go out this way and go out our little gate here. So looks fantastic. Now, in this map, you will notice that for this particular farm, you have a lot of placeables. Now these placeables are things like this, and these are new. The rabbits, they are a new creature, animal that you can have on your farm that he created, well, I won't say specifically for this map, but that is one of the key features of this map. And I have power tools turn on and easy developer controls. So yeah, it's a fantastic map. I mean, we can go on, we can go on for days about how great this map is. There's a kind of I guess you would call it an area for camping, but I think you make money off that. There's your puppy dog. No, it's a deer. Sorry. Thought it was our dog, but there's a dog. You can see our dog house is over here. Now, the really cool thing about having multiple maps is that you can do some customizations. So I'll usually roll with a lot of mods, and sometimes they have some conflicts. So this allows you to test those mods, as well as, you know, keep your original unique map if you want to stay current with the updates and everything, and, you know, play on the same map but just do things differently. Like, let's say you want to delete a lot of these things and get rid of, you know, some of the trees or something. You can actually edit that map uniquely, but still keep this file, so you can do different things like that. So I think that's enough of the map. We're going to go into more of a showcase map when we actually get into the Let's Play, so I don't want to give too much away. But the key thing I want you to remember from this is remember all the placeables. So we're going to kind of walk through it and some of the issues you might have if you're doing some of the steps of creating a unique map, but not all of them. Okay, we'll be right back. Let me load them to my other screen and show you guys what's next. Okay, so we are back, and here is the actual Mod Hub link, or web page rather. So this is where you're going to go to download Court Farm Country Park. Now, like I said, this is created by Mr. Oxygendavid, and it is a fantastic map. So it is PC only, I believe, but I think they're still doing some testing to get for, well, PC/Mac for consoles. I think they're still in testing for that, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But this is the map. It's fantastic, beautiful map. Wonderful, right? So let's get into making a unique map. Now, first thing you're going to do is download the map. You can go there to the link, and this is going to be pertaining mostly to PC. I already have it downloaded, so what I'm going to do, rather than download it, I'm just going to copy what I have, and I'll bring you up on that in a second. Okay, so once you either download it or copy it from your mods folder, and that's what I did. So these are my tons of mods right here. What I did, I just, typed in Court Farm, and you can find it, copy it, and I have a few versions of that already. But the biggest thing I want to do, just copy it out. I'm just going to put it on my desktop to make it easy to work. You can work in any folder that you like. This is going to be a semi-intermediate type of tutorial. So, we're not going to go into the nitpick details of everything, but you should definitely be able to follow along. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to extract this with WinZip in this case, or your zip file extractor of choice or zip program. So just going to hit that, do that right there. That's going to create the folder, unpacking all of the information in there. Taking a few seconds. Alrighty. Now it was a big file. It's like close to a gig. What is this? Yeah, pretty much say less a gig. Let's do. Yep. So compressed quite a good little bit there. All right. So once you get into the file, these are in this particular case, these are the files that you're going to see. We're going to focus on a couple of things, the mod description and some of the maps, map XML, I believe. And the XMLs, I think there's a couple of things in here. Now, traditionally, what you would think you would do is just rename this. Let's say you put, I don't know, 1 there, right? And you would zip it back, put it in your file. You'd think that would pretty much give you, a unique map. In fact, we'll do that and I'll show you what happens. I'm going to rename it to, let's say, 1 mod, because I know there's going to be some more releases. So I'm just going to make it that unique name, right? Boom. Now I do have developer mode on, so I'm going to put this file unzipped in my mods folder, but in developer mode, that will allow me to interact with this particular file. Another thing I'm going to do to make it unique, I'm going to go into mod description so you guys can see that it is actually a unique map when I load it. So let's say modded 1.1. All right, I'm also going to go down to the bottom down here. So this is what displays when you're loading the splash screen of the map, right? And I'll show you that. So I'm going to say modded 1.1. Whoops, let's not do that. Let's do modded 1.1 Court Farm. And we're going to put the description. That's that little text at the bottom. I'm also going to put that there. Modded 1.1. All right. There's different languages, but I'm just doing English at the moment just to keep it quick. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll save that. And I'm going to put this in my mod folder and I'll be right back once this loads. Okay, we're back in the game. Let me go back and see if we have, let me cut one thing off here. Okay, and let's go to our modded Court Farm file, if we can find it. There we go. So as I said, once you change that name of that file, that's where you're going to see it in the splash screen right here. And I also put it in that little subtext just to keep it straight for myself. So this is the original Court Farm. This is the modded one. This is actually another 2. These are another 2 that I've modded before. but we're showing how we do this from scratch. So that's why we're going to focus on this one and this one. Now, this is the new 1.1 map that recently got released not too long ago. So that's why we're working with that one. I also want to test some things on this specific map. These ones are unique because they are the 1.0 maps. Now, once you do this, we kind of talked about it before. This will not update per the mod hub. So your original file would be, because that's still linked and tied to some mod hub magic stuff going on to ensure that you have the right version. But this one is its own unique map. So it's not going to be tracked. It's not going to be, once there are updates, nothing's going to happen to it unless you go in and do those updates yourself. You can just repeat these steps and create a whole different map. So this is another way also, if you want to test two different versions of maps, let's say you have a 1.0 and a 2.0, you can do that and keep them unique. So just different things you can do and ideas. Now we're going to load the map and see what happens once we just did a couple of things. So keep in mind, we changed the mod folder for the map. That's always the key to having a unique file or map or mod, wherever the case is. Change the file name. The second thing we did a few things with the titles in there to make sure that, we can keep track of the stuff. So I'll load in the map and show you what happens. Okay, we're back in the game. Now, everything looks like everything just kind of, worked. The map is loaded, but the keen-eyed of you will probably have seen we're missing a lot of the icons, right? We are missing icons for the pig pen. We're even missing, some of the things that went in there. There are some buildings. This building is here, but there's no way to interact to buy, your rabbits. All the items are still here. There's no way to do, anything with your cows. So in a nutshell, all of your placeables have disappeared. That's what happens when we only change just the folder name and perhaps just the, a few other things with the titles and all that stuff. Even some of the triggers, like the sleep triggers in the house, they're also gone. Now, I'm going to open that file back up and show you what we should do to prevent that. All right, be right back. Okay, so we're back in the folder. We're going to click on mod description. All that looks good, right? Nothing there. You see placeables there. You're like, well, all my placeables are there in the mod description folder. Why are they not showing up when I do this? So technically these are right. That is still good because these are mapping a specific place in the folder. Now that is also the key also. So that's not the file that you really want to get to. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go into the maps. You want to go into not this placeables. This placeables is dealing with the actual physical files, like the i3ds. So that's the physical models. But what we want to go to in this particular case is XMLs, and that there's a placeables XML. That is the one that you actually want to edit. So we're going to click on that and just let's take a gander and see what we have here. Now, the first thing that you're going to notice is that all of the placeables, the diesel tanks, the sheep's barn, the rabbit's pen, this is the file that tells where these things are located in the map and how to load them. So all of them are placeables, right? This is a diesel tank. We'll go through this first one. This is the file name for the diesel tank of where it's loading from in your folder. Keep that in mind. That's the key, in the folder that your map is looking for, right? It has an ID to keep them all unique. So let's say you want to have 3 diesel tanks. You can have each of those as a unique ID, right? And the position for it. So that's X, Y, and Z coordinates in the map. It also has a rotation. So what angle it's sitting at. Again, X, Y, and Z. And age. That's that will change over time the longer you play. It's 0 right now because we haven't played it. And it has a price. So if you want to sell it, you can get a price for it. Right. Most of these things probably aren't sellable in some sense. You can sell them with the map. So I'm sorry, not the map, with the farm. So that's just some of the knit knots there. Now, the key thing I just talked about though, file name, mod directory, that is your key. So this $ mod directory is pretty much telling the game and the system to look in whatever mod folder directory that you put. So everywhere that you put all of your mods, if you change it in the system, that will tell it to look in there. Now, FS22 Court Farms, that is the name of the original download that you have gotten from ModHub. Now, if you remember, the name of the file that we made, that unique name, was something different. That's why none of this stuff is loaded. Even if you have this folder in your in your mod folder, it's not going to reach into another folder to pull in that data. This has to be the exact same folder that your map is in. So all this stuff needs to be localized to that same folder, treat it like its own little universe, and make sure that, this stuff matches. So what I'm going to do two things. I'm going to get the file name, and I'm going to show you how to change all of these without changing, one at a time. There's an easy way to do it in Notepad++. We're going to change this specific text to something. So I double clicked it and highlight it to make sure I'm not, getting anything too crazy. And everything looks right. This bunker silo, I think that's going to work because it's looking somewhere else. It's just looking for file name data. So that's in the folder itself. So it should know how to look in there to get that. All right. So I'm going to say Control F in this program, and I'm going to say replace. So that's that second little tab right there. Now, once you go into replace, I want to replace the thing that I highlighted, find what, and I want to replace it with something else. Now, what is the something else? So if we look into my mods, and the file name that I actually have for this is called, that's that one we just named, that unique folder name, right? So I'm going to go in there, copy that verbatim, make sure I copy the exact same thing. Come back out to my program here, click on the replace window. I want to change all of those to, going to paste that in there. Make sure there are no spaces before or after. Right? Yep. Oops. So I just messed up there. If I were to do that, that would have been a problem. So I'll do it again to make sure. I'm going to hit Control V, paste that in there to make sure it's exact. Now, the only thing we have to do now is hit replace all one time. And I think that should have gotten us. So boom, we're going to come back out here, double click that. Now, all of those things that were just Court Farms before, FS22 Court Farms, has been changed to that new name. Be careful, like I said, if you have any spaces here or anything like that, any space before it, it's not going to work. The reason is a space is an actual character. And if there's a space there, that's not matching up with the exact name of your folder. So keep that type of stuff in mind, right? So the thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to hit save, and we're going to load back in and see if this works. Be right back. Okay, we have loaded back into the map, and if you will look around here, there we go. We have our placeables in there, and you can still interact with them. You can buy the baby rabbits, right? You can buy your piggies, and all those things are still there in the map. Now, this is a unique map. Like I said, you can do anything to the map i3D if you'd like in that folder and maintain a unique version of the map. So you can do different things. Now, what are some of those things? I'm going to show you one thing particularly. So I play with a lot of mods typically. And one of those one of the things that modifies something particular to the map are Filltypes. And those are the things that you can dump on the ground and load into buckets and trailers, etc. So they're Filltypes, right? So with a couple of mods, and I'll tell you, there's nothing against the mods. Sometimes you have conflicts. I have Filltypes for all, and also Maze Plus. So that really caused an issue with the grass. Those would just not load in this map. So I'll show you how to fix that, kind of like a bonus little clip here. And that'll be the end of this particular video. But if you need anything specifically, let me know and we can review it. But this is just a general how to create, at this point, how to create a unique independent map that you can do whatever you want to without necessarily modifying your original one. And if you want to play your original file on a save game and this particular unique modded version, you can do that because they're two different maps as far as the game is concerned. Remember, keep your file names unique and always update that one placeables file name to make sure it is unique and matching whatever that folder is. Now, be careful once you name it in both. If you name it, like rename it again, you could potentially lose, all these placeables. So keep that in mind. Also, if you have already saved the game and you try to do this after, you won't see them. This is going to work for a unique new saved game. So try to do this before you start saving on the map. Now, there's a way to fix that if you already saved your game and you want to make a unique game. But that's probably for another video, but I'll give you a short version of that. Create a new game with all the changes we just did. Go into your placeables, the unique locations for them, copy them, and put into your new, your existing save game that you modded folder. That might be a little complex, but hopefully that'll make sense if you have, some familiarity with modding. But if you need a whole video on that, let me know, and I'll kind of see if I can come up with something to show you guys how to do that. Now, back to the beans here. How do you get, Filltypes? Again, unique Filltypes. We'll do that kind of like an outro here. It's very quick, and I'll be right back once we get into some modding. Okay, so we are back in our folder that we created our unique map. And what we're going to look at now, the problem I had, the items existed. So for example, the grasses were there. And if you look at my other mod video, you'll see some of that as far as the grass Filltypes. So once you mow, the equipment drops a grass type on the ground. That was not being recognized on the ground. So if you put it directly like into a trailer, it was there, but it would not, the mowers would not just dump it on the ground, which would be problematic if you're trying to harvest that stuff. All right, so how do you fix that? Now, this is a quick and dirty version, but I just want to show you in case you run into it. But this is how you do that. So you want to go into the back into the maps XMLs folder, and you want to look into, I believe it is maps fields type. No, wait, density. Sorry, this is the one. Maps density fill map height types. Ooh, let me redo that. Maps density map height types. That's the thing that you want to modify. Now, in here, you'll see all the stuff. If you were to dump it on the ground, that would give you that height, if you will, of a mesh over a volume. So that's what it's really saying. It is a way of the game to say, if I dump something on the ground and it looks like a teepee, if you will, or some type of tent, I need to put this texture on top of it. So that's kind of what this is telling the game. So that was missing. So it would not dump it on the ground at all. So my easiest thing, I just went into Maze Plus, copied in a few things like the wet grass windrow, the chopped maize, and I think the chopped maize fermented. I think I'm still missing carrots because I can't dump it in this particular version. But that's what you need to find. Find out what you're missing, what mod is originating that, and go into the similar folder file name for that mod. Copy out densityMapHeightType, and you paste it in this folder. Now, I think I'm going to just put all this stuff at the end. So I'm going to just create a little space here. And I already have these named out. You can't see this particular thing, but I do have it already. Let's see. I'm just going to copy it from my other folder over here. Okay. And so I have 3 of them. I'm going to paste them right there. So make sure all that looks right. Now I left spaces in between. That does not matter. Oh, I have 2 of those, so I don't need that. So let's take this one off right here. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so I just needed my wet grass windrow, and that was the one missing, and I didn't have chopped maize also. So that's when you have the chopped maize loaded into the silo. It wouldn't load it until you add this in there. So easy, quick, kind of dirty. If you need me to go into more detail, please let me know. But that will help you overcome some of the issues you may have when you're trying to dump something on the ground. And the game's like, nope, you can't dump that here. Even if you own the land, even if you have a mod that lets you dump it everywhere, that might be the case. All right. Like I said, quick little dirty thing, kind of a bonus thing if you're looking into that. I needed it for my specific Let's Play, so I just wanted to go over it really quickly. There's a ton more information and a ton more things, but this is really just a quick, dirty version of that specific part. Now, we went primarily over how to create a unique map independent of a map monitored by ModHub that you downloaded, so you can create a unique modified version and do things like this, but still keep your original folder and map. So, phew, that was more. It's always more involved than I thought, but that was everything I kind of want to touch bases on. Hopefully this finds you and helps you if you're looking for this type of thing. I think I covered everything, and if I missed anything particularly, I will write it in the comments just to be wary of, but I think that should get you for most things. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I think that's going to call it a day for this one. You guys have a good one. Take care. Until next time. See you later. Thanks.